Hi, I'm Hazel, and today I'm going over every available tactic to get your hands on 7th Legion or Honorbound Service Medals in order of priority. If you missed it, you can use these at a vendor to buy mounts such as the Priestess Moonsaber for Alliance. At the top of the list will be activities that give the most amount of medals for the least amount of your time, and towards the end will be the less lucrative things. You can decide for yourself where your cutoff of "that's not worth it" is. The first way to farm medals is queuing for a Warfront when it's up. Your first win of a cycle for an active Warfront gives you 15 service medals when you complete the quest. That's separate for Darkshore and Arathi Highlands, so keep an eye on both and make sure that you run them at least once for that quest when they come up. Second, keep up with the Darkshore and Arathi world quests. You get 1 medal per world quest on top of whatever the reward was. These are only available while your faction controls the zone, and there are 5 in each zone. Depending on who's in control, some days you'll have 10, some days 5, some days 0. If you control the zone, there will be a portal to it near your Warfront queue table. These world quests reset only once per day. The third source is faction assaults, or incursions, invasions, whatever you want to call them. Completing one gives you 5 medals when you turn in the final quest. I like to look up the next few upcoming assaults on Wowhead, figure out when I can get to them if possible, and then set reminders on my phone. The big thing here is just to get to as many of these as you can. And finally, every time you get a 7th Legion or Honorbound Paragon cache, there will be 20 medals in that. This can easily be your biggest source of medals, especially since all of the activities that we already talked about already give 7th Legion or Honorbound rep. Every 10k rep past Exalted is a new chest, with a nice bonus of 4k-ish gold on top of the medals too. There are a few more tactics that you can use to grind those chests even faster and speed up your medal grind considerably. Stay on top of your rep buffs. If the Darkmoon Fair is up, go get your Wii buff. If it's a holiday with a rep buff, make sure that you have that. If you're a human, congratulations on the racial. Next, get a 7th Legion or Honorbound contract. These were not available at the beginning of the X-Pack, but they've been added in 8.1, and you should have one running at all times. They're cheap to buy, last for a week, and add 10 extra 7th Legion or Honorbound rep to every world quest that you do. 10 doesn't seem like much, but it adds up. Don't forget to do your weekly quota of island expeditions for a bonus 1500 rep every week. If you're lucky enough to find the Rusted Alliance or Horde insignias while you're in there, you can turn those into your Quartermaster for an extra 250 rep. Obviously, you don't want to skip 7th Legion or Honorbound emissaries. Warfront world quests and Assault world quests all count towards that emissary, so if you're keeping up, you'll be basically done already. Make sure that you keep an eye on your mission board and send out any missions for 7th Legion or Honorbound rep tokens. Those pop up pretty often, and it's a couple hundred free rep if you can get that bonus on them. Sure, it costs you war resources, but if you've been hammering out Warfront world quests and assaults, you should be flush with those. Warfront contributions is another good source of rep whenever those are up. You'll get 150 rep along with some Azerite power every time you contribute, even if it's just gold. Those refresh daily as long as the contribution phase is active, so check back and see if there's anything else that you can turn in. Next, do as many world quests on the enemy content as you can, especially if they're faction assault world quests. You only need 4 of those assault world quests to get to the end bit and finish the assault, but I always do all 5 because they are 150 rep each in an enemy zone, or 75 plus 75 local rep in a friendly zone. Even outside of faction assault world quests, as many as you have time for in enemy zones will really help drive you towards more medals. It's also a good source of gold and an opportunity to gather if you've got gathering professions. And it's pretty out there. Also, finish your War Campaign questline if you were putting that off for some weird reason. I don't know who would do that. You get 2k extra rep at the end of each chapter. One-time quests in enemy zones also give you rep that helps. And last, if you are absolutely bonkers and have kept up with all of the above, technically your friendly zone world quest will get you 7th Legion or Honorbound rep too, thanks to that contract. At just 10 per, it's not worth it anymore. I recommend stretching, taking a walk, finding a nice dog or cat to pet, and saying hi to a human being instead, but you do you. Notably, World PvP does not directly grant any service medals. However, having War Mode on when you complete a quest with a reputation bonus as its reward will technically get you more rep. I'm not really about this one myself, but you're certainly welcome to. With these tactics, or preferably like 70% of them, you'll be on your way to whatever you want off that vendor in no time. These special mounts cost 750 medals, and that's the Priestess Moonsaber for Alliance and the Bloodthirsty Dreadwing for Horde. Buying one does not give you access to the other, and these are only usable by characters of the appropriate faction. More forgiving are the Crowlusk mounts. Those are only 200 medals, and learning one does give you access to the opposite faction Crowlusk. You can still only use your color, but at least you don't have to grind it out again on your trader alts. There's other stuff, including a 395 teleport ring, a pet, a toy, and new heirlooms. The vendor should be near your Warfront table area. Look for Provisioner Stoutforge for Alliance and Provisioner Mukra for Horde. And that's the service medal grind. Getting 750 can be done in 1 month if you go really, really hard, and more like 6 to 8 weeks realistically. Remember to get up and stretch now and then. Thanks for watching, let me know what you think, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!